You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Brian Pistow and Jason Brown.
Yes! We may never change it.
I'm still waiting for someone to give me a valid reason why I should. I mean,
There's not one.
still working.
There's not one. Hey, it's Thursday, and you know what else it is, Brian? It's co-host tryout day.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is an interview for
They didn't tell me that
podcast.
part.
They
Yeah.
didn't.
I was scammed.
Oh well,
Scammed. Nah.
here you are.
No. We were just saving the best for now.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
So
That's it. Well, no, really. Hello, welcome to the Arkansas AgCast, the December 8th edition. We are not live, although we are still coming to you like we do every Thursday at 2 p.m. on the video and 5 a.m. on Friday for audio. And welcome my friend Ashley Wallace here with us today. Ashley, tell us why you're here.
Because you told me to.
That's, well, okay.
Well,
literally.
No, to talk about my favorite thing, Farm Family.
Yeah, that's right. Ashley plays the role of Farm Family of the Year coordinator at
Chaos
Arkansas
coordinator.
Farm Bureau. Yeah, among many other jobs and duties and roles and responsibilities. But it is Farm Family Week.
Yes.
So Brian and I decided we wanted to invite Ashley on to talk about Farm Family.
absolutely.
Farm Family.
So we're going to do that. Not yet, but we are going to do that.
And
I
we
guess-
wanted her to sit with us the whole time.
That's it. That's it.
So
So you're not really trying out, but we do appreciate you taking the time to spend all podcasts with us.
All podcasts. Well, I appreciate you guys having me here to talk about my farm family.
Yeah. Let me see. Before we get into that, last week was busy.
very, very busy.
What was
Was-
going on?
What
was
did you
a,
do last
was
week,
a little bit
Brian?
sketchy in places.
Got shady here and there.
It did. I tell you. But we survived it.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if anybody saw this, but I just read a story last night that said last week, the United States hit the highest number of flu cases in 1 week in recorded history. We decided to have a convention.
I believe it. I proceeded. It's not officially confirmed,
Yeah.
but I think that's what I had. So, I
Well,
helped
not to call
contribute
you
to
out, I'm just saying that,
contributed to the numbers,
we had some folks who were out.
We had some missing folks.
And yeah.
It
so-
was. Man, Sunday was rough right before convention, but
Yeah.
I started getting better and it was questionable what day I was going to arrive, but thankfully I got there just in time.
Yeah.
So,
You did. And put on a heck of a show, might I
Well,
say. I
thank
mean,
you.
an
It was-
incredible show. Nobody, unless they're listening right now, would know that you were down and out a mere hours before we kicked off.
they would only see that if they were backstage.
I was backstage with you for a bit, and I will tell you, it was noticeable.
It was
at
a
time or two.
it was a little touch and go in places, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, but it's over. We've heard some good feedback, including good feedback on the trade show.
hmm
What else, Ashley?
The wife and our discussion meet was there. We had a good
Yes.
crowd for that. The
We did.
county awards was also in the trade show. They had a
Mhm.
good turnout for that.
Yeah.
Um,
A
and
record-setting foundation night.
Yes, we had record-setting foundations for their silent auction. They had a live auction, and then we also had good feedback on our keynote speaker on the second day.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did. Let's go back to that live auction. I've heard a lot of. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I've heard some hullabaloo around this.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was Senator Malik, who is like live auctioneer, getting up
Yeah.
on stage and auctioning off a meal prepared by the state board to the county that had the highest bid.
So they're cooking?
Yeah, well, They might just be serving. I got to get all the details on that.
But
it
at
kinda
least
waffles.
serving.
Oh,
I mean,
I've
that's a
been
big
told
deal.
they're cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
really?
So, yeah, they've been voluntold to help cook, as they put it.
Yeah.
That's
So-
not my words.
So that was the prize.
Yes.
And then you competed in
They-
a real deal live auction.
Yes.
Wow.
They had employees and board members out there on the floor, like
All
keeping
saying
up
like,
with.
he's
Yeah.
not, okay.
And I
okay.
think that contributed to them really getting into it. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah. Well, they say
I've-
voluntold. They're all joking. They're very excited about this. And
Yeah.
this is a brand new thing. I think that
this is the first year,
It's
right?
the first
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
I think the counties are excited about it. It's going to be pretty neat.
Who, might I ask, won?
Pulaski County.
Pulaski County won.
They got
okay.
in a bidding war with another county in their area.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah. It started off a little slow. I had camera out because I thought, well, this is going to be cool. And I didn't
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
to be recording for 7.5 minutes.
Oh, goodness.
And the winning bid was $15,500.
Wow. All to go
Yeah.
to the Farm Bureau
Yes.
Arkansas Farm Bureau Foundation, which does incredible work. We talk
Mhm.
about almost every week here.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. That's huge. That's
is.
pretty fun.
Mhm.
I'll go back. You mentioned Amberly Snyder,
Yes.
who was our keynote speaker on day 2 of convention. So if you don't know Amberly's story, we've talked about her so much on this podcast, but barrel racer, professional rodeo rider, paralyzed from the waist down when she was just turned 18, fought her way back, is a current barrel racer, professional rodeo
I feel like we should add actress, and
athlete.
stunt double to that
True.
Yeah,
list of things now.
because she was on season 3 of Yellowstone, and I think she's gonna co-host or host a reality television show too. We didn't talk much about that, but I think I've seen something on her Instagram. Anyway, great response, a truly inspiring story.
Very much.
Very.
Second time we've been able to engage her now as Farm Bureau, and I think people were I think all the feedback I heard was extremely positive.
Definitely. Lots of positive feedback about not only speakers, but just the convention as a whole.
Yeah.
The trade show was very well received.
Sold out.
Sold out.
I think we mentioned that while we were
We
down
did.
there, but yeah.
We did.
Farm
It was,
Bureau
it was fun to
store.
be on the stage last week.
It was.
you know,
that was fun.
It was cool.
We had Jeff McClure on, first time
Yep.
to have him on the podcast, and he showed off some of the items from the store. We talked about all the programming, the workshops, commodity meetings, things like that. So anyway, I think it was a hit.
Yeah.
I'll go out on,
I think so,
a
too.
limb and
I-
say it was a hit. 88th, the 88th state
88th.
convention.
I've heard many comments that several felt it was the best one that we've ever had.
Wow. Well, congrats to everybody involved, including yourselves, in putting that together. I mean, what a big deal.
A lot of work
a
goes
big
into
moment.
it.
Yeah.
We have great staff, and everyone gave it their all. So
My guess is we'll breathe for Christmas and then start talking about 2023 convention. I saw the dates for 2023 this
Yes.
morning, so it's already starting.
it will start.
We're not going to cover it in the news, but I did want to mention, Brian, a follow-up on a story you reported last week, that rail strike. I think when we left it, we were waiting on Congress to potentially act. Maybe the House had already voted, but Senate had not. Anyway, if you haven't read it in your news yet, we'll report to you that potential railroad strike has been averted.
Yes.
Thanks to action by Congress. The president signed that bill. So all that is done.
Yes.
For the moment. And then just, without too much detail, Matthew Magdefrau, one of our producers, is here in the studio with us today. He's working on some exciting changes to the podcast, as well as other members of our team. And we look forward to continue to reinvent, make things better for our listeners and viewers into the new year. So stick around, more to come on that.
Yes, definitely. We're excited. I think we're going to be headed in a good direction.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you've got suggestions or thoughts, or you hear something you love, something you don't, tell us. You can always drop it in the comments where this is posted. You can always send an email, call us, or camp out outside Brian's house and catch him in the morning when he's leaving for work.
Yes, please camp outside my house. And invite everyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's dig into the news because we are going to continue to talk about convention some. Nice award for University of Arkansas Division of Ag. So we'll just kick right off the news this week with a quick update from our state convention. We'll start with officers and board members. So Rich Hillman of Carlisle was reelected as Arkansas Farm Bureau's president. Mike Freeze of Little Rock will continue as vice president for our agriculture advocacy organization. Both were elected on Friday morning last week at our 88th annual convention down in Hot Springs at the Convention Center. Board action later resulted in the reelection of Dan Wright of Waldron as Secretary Treasurer. Dan raises poultry and grows hay. Delegates also elected while we were there 6 board members during the final day of that meeting. Again, that was Friday, including 3 new board members: Megan Allen of Bismarck, Brad Doyle of Wiener, and Dana Stewart of Judsonia. The delegates, and there were some board members reelected by the delegates, 4 in fact, and those guys are for 2-year terms. Excuse me. Those members were Jason Henson of Mount Judea, Dan Wright of Waldron, Terry Dabbs of Stuttgart, and Caleb Plyler of Spring Hill. Voting delegates also addressed a range of state and federal policy issues. It is a long list, but I will move through it quickly, including boards and commission appointments, tax exemptions for 4-H and FFA projects, agricultural education for K-12, the continuation of net metering for renewable energy, additional funding for county and state fairs, the formation of a timber cooperative for landowners, support for water infrastructure projects to conserve groundwater, conservation incentives for private landowners, protection of mineral right contracts, support of infrastructure on roads, highways, bridges, and broadband. If you have a question about any or all of those topics, you can contact Stanley Hill's team, Jared, Mark Lambert, Phil Powell, Katrina Rojas, any of those folks. Happy to share more about those. So there's the first roundup of convention that we've got.
Yeah, we've there's a lot that happens during
busy
convention week. It's a very busy week. Lots of business happening, and there are a lot of committees meeting throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
It's a busy time.
Yeah,
but a lot gets done, and it's good for everyone to come together from all over the state.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we have some fun too.
Well, here's a fun story about drones.
Okay.
A topic that we love to cover on the podcast. We love to talk about drones.
We have a drone pilot in our midst.
We do. This one comes to us from John Lovett of the U of A system. John reports the University of Arkansas was among the institutions recently recognized for drone research and outreach. At this stage in the technology, we're all familiar with the use of drones in farming.
Yep.
A lot of research has gone into making the drones more economically beneficial in agriculture, from taking inventory at plant nurseries to spotting early signs of crop stress. We even have covered some stuff where they're using drones to spray crops and several things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
The U of A System Division of Agriculture Research and Extension Arm were among the institutions recently recognized for drone research and outreach with the National Excellence in Multi-State Research Award from the Experiment Station section of the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities Commission on Food, Environment, and Renewable Resources.
Let me see that business card.
Yeah, no joke. The award recognizes experiment station scientists from multiple states. Gary Thompson, executive director of the Southern Association of Agricultural Experiment Station Directors, noted that this Southern Region multi-state project has direct impacts for agricultural producers. Thompson said that the landscape level management decisions are increasingly reliant on obtaining accurate and reliable data that can be analyzed in real time. Adding that remote sensing with drones provides a versatile means of getting high-resolution information to agricultural managers. He concluded that the association administers this ongoing Southern Region project, which focuses on challenges in the Southern region while being open to participation from institutions across the nation.
Nice. Well,
All that wordiness, it's very
Yeah.
exciting.
it is.
We've covered several levels of drone applications and
Mhm.
uses
Mhm.
over the past several years.
Mhm.
So much has been done. We talked about the spot application and
Mhm.
being able to look at your crops and that kind of thing. But some of the stuff they're talking about here, we even did an interview in some of Matthew's early days here at the organization. We did one with a Century Farm where they were using a drone along with they had a scooter with an attachment on it, and the drone was following that along a path, and they were able to drill down into the soil to map out.
Oh, interesting. Almost like a tandem.
It was mapping out
Interesting.
areas that they knew were going to work better for planting, and they could analyze all that
Yeah.
stuff. They had there was I want to say the guy was French, but he was here on a doctorate program.
Yeah.
Way smarter, started asking him a question. It's like, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Well,
okay,
and
I don't think I'm going to ask any more questions.
I know. I've just seen this. Yeah. In this growing season, I've seen a lot of uptick in that application piece, the spot application piece. Hey, I don't need to spend the resources to apply and input to this entire field. But if we can hit these 7 target spots where I've got, I don't know, frog leaf nematode or something, some sort of problem going on, it's more efficient. It's obviously can be cost effective. There's just so many benefits. So to see the university here at the center, our land grant university here in the state, at the center of this is pretty cool.
Well, and it just goes further to show, in my opinion, the farmers really are the best stewards of the land. They're very, very they're very conservative, and they're looking for more ways to be even more so. And
Absolutely.
And find ways that they can do that research. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
A
You're right.
district farm family a couple years ago, he used a thermal drone to know where his water had spread through the field.
Oh, really?
In the middle of summer when everything was leafed out and you can't get down to the dirt, they'd use that thermal to see how far the water had
That's amazing.
irrigated the field.
Yeah, I've honestly never heard of that application before. That's so cool.
It's fascinating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, let's step away from this news for a bit and learn more about our Farm Bureau membership.
Your Arkansas Farm Bureau membership supports our work on behalf of Arkansas farmers, ranchers, and rural communities around the state. From youth leadership programs and academic scholarships to hunger relief and disaster support, and much more. You can make a difference and be a champion for your community. Join today at ArFB.com.
Look, I don't know if I can say it any better than our friend there in the radio spot, but your annual $40 Farm Bureau membership contributes to important work being done in your local community. In fact, county farm bureaus across the state provide support in the way of filling food backpacks for students, providing scholarships, and even taking the time to read in local schools. If that's something you'd like to be involved in, please consider joining or renewing at ArFB.com to support our work in your community. In fact, I will say we had several of these examples that were just in that line that I read on stage at state convention.
Yes.
Folks being recognized for that work.
Yes.
Which is really cool. Give Brian and Jenny and Ashley and that team credit. When you walk in the convention center, for those of you who aren't here, you see images. Branding is what we call it, what nerds will call it. But, images for convention everywhere on the stair banister, on the doors. And all of that imagery this year were of people in the counties out doing the exact list of things that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And that's because the theme was Make It Matter. And Make It Matter is sort of how, how one of the ways that we found to describe that work, that important work that's done at the community level. So we took that time to show off our members making it matter at the community level.
And a lot of the imagery was pulled from county Facebook pages.
Oh, yeah, really?
It shows it. Just about every county has their own Facebook page, and they've got that presence in their community, and they're sharing those moments and the involvement.
Well, those pages contribute to things like awards that a county can win.
True.
And in addition to elections and policy adoptions, there were a number of awards presented at annual convention. Hopefully some of them won for the activities that were shown off in that imagery. But how about a roundup of those honors? Congratulations to Craighead County for being recognized as the state's top county Farm Bureau organization in 2022. And while we're talking about Craighead County, their Women's Leadership Committee was named the Outstanding County Women's Program Award winner for 2022. Yay, Craighead County. Ida Ruth Jones of Polk County Farm Bureau Women's Leadership Committee received the Arkansas Farm Bureau Women's Diamond Award, which honors a county Farm Bureau leader whose volunteer efforts are above and beyond the norm. Tom Jones, outgoing state board member, was there to receive that honor in his mom's stead. Rachel Bearden won the Young Farmers and Ranchers Discussion Meet, which Ashley mentioned earlier. The discussion meet provides a forum for young farm leaders to demonstrate their verbal and problem-solving presentation skills while they discuss their views on issues affecting agriculture. There were 11 competitors in the discussion meet. Bearden won $7,000 courtesy of Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company. I think of it as a debate. I'd probably have my hand slapped for that, but it's fun and entertaining to watch.
I think she's going to American Farm Bureau to compete.
She is.
In San Juan, Puerto Rico. She is, yeah. I'll tell you, I wrote the press release for that too, and I'm like, hey, Rachel, give me a little bit about what you got going on. And she's like, oh, here's my bio. Ran out of room. I can't tell you how many times I was scrolling through reading everything that she's involved in, including they were winners of one of our wife and our award winners last year. Really just an incredible family. Their Lacey Grace always runs around Farm Bureau events and is a big hit.
Well, in a fun tie, they talked about technology on the farm in one of the questions that I sat in on. So autonomy in some of these machines that are taking like hands off the field, and what are the risks and benefits of that? So that was an interesting tie.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. So congrats to those folks. And then rounding this out, on to Education Awards, Darren Hawkins of BB High School in White County was recognized as Outstanding Ag Educator. Concord High School's Caleb Patton earned the Outstanding New Ag Educator Award, and Cedar Ridge High School grabbed the top spot as the Outstanding Ag Education Program. In addition, Mark Morgan of Clarksville is the 2022 recipient of the Stanley Reed Leadership Award from the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation. That award was established in 2011 to honor the memory of the man who was president of Arkansas Farm Bureau from 2003 to 2008. It is awarded to an active member, 36 to 45 years of age, for outstanding leadership within their county farm bureau and community. So congrats to all of those winners that we mentioned. It was a big day for our big event for awards and honors on the stage and beyond, and proud for those folks.
It was fantastic. Well, all right, we've talked enough.
Yeah,
we're gonna let Ashley have the rest of the show.
Showtime.
So, as we mentioned it.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
You can just. I'll be here for hours. It's fine.
As we mentioned earlier, we're going to have a chat about the Farm Family of the Year program. Today, I'm excited to welcome Ashley Wallace from our very own PR team. She is going to, among the many hats that she wears here at Farm Bureau, one of them is the Farm Family Coordinator. So, welcome to the show again.
Yeah.
So, let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
For those who aren't familiar with the Farm Family of the Year program, tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, I just realized how much bigger it was in reality than in my head, because I'm looking over our script and I'm like, well, Mark Morgan is a state farm family.
Oh,
They
really?
won a couple years ago.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And Rachel Bearden is actually my county chair in Hot Spring County. So
Really?
I'm just gonna hijack the whole show about
How
Farm
about it?
Family.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So let's start with the basics. Farm family, it starts at the county level. So every county has a committee. They get together. They pull somebody from their community that they want to recognize, honor for their outstanding work in the community and farming and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped to be a part of this program because it acknowledges Arkansas agriculture. It brings attention to not just the agriculture, but the farmers that are providing all our food, fiber, shelter, all the things that we talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm super pumped because this is our 75th year of the program.
Wow.
It's
what a big deal.
It's a huge deal. It's one of the longest running of its kind.
Okay.
I've got all kinds of, I could go on
Keep
for hours and
going.
hours. What else have I got in
Yeah.
here? Okay. It gives recognition and encourages the farm families to do well, to keep going, to be active in their community. And then one thing I don't think people know, that we put a lot of emphasis on their community involvement, their conservation activity and practices, and their innovation.
Okay.
So we're encouraging and we want to recognize these farmers for stepping outside of the box, do new things, what's working for you. One, to recognize them, but two, maybe their ideas can be shared with other farmers and be beneficial across the state.
It kind of raises the bar, I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a great operation, but if you aren't getting involved in that community, if you aren't innovating, bringing technology onto the farm, things like that, you might not be as much of a contender.
We had 69 counties participate this year.
Wow.
So,
is that normal? Is it
it's
normally?
pretty high.
Yeah.
We're usually between 69 and 70 something.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like low 70s. So that's a pretty good average for us. But if you're not doing some of those things, you're competing against 70 other people.
Yeah.
You're going to have to step it up and do something awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. That's tough. So today, you're talking about on the county level.
Yes.
And then from there, district winners are chosen.
Selected.
Is that right?
So internally, we have our entire state divided up into 8 districts.
Okay.
To make judging a little bit easier. So on our June judging date, we have 2 judges per district. They go out, they visit all of their counties, and they select the top of the top in their district.
Okay. Yeah.
Which lands us where we are today, where we have all 8 of these guys rounded up in a room.
Coming in, yeah.
We visit them again in July and narrow it down from those 8 to the 1 we announced today.
Oh, awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about the 8 district families? Yeah.
So that's my favorite week. I call it Farm Family Week. Technically, the governor says this week is. But in July, when we do the visits, it's like Christmas to me.
Yeah,
it's the best.
That's awesome. I could see.
It's the best time of year. We get to go out. It's slam packed. We visit 8 farms in 4 days.
You know what my favorite part of that week is?
Quiet.
People have no idea the time and effort you put in to find the right meal.
Oh,
along the judging trail.
Right.
She'll put people in her office like, "Hey, Jason, we're in Craighead County. Where should we go eat?"
I try to do that for my judges too, because all of our judges for the program are volunteers.
Yeah.
So if I'm scheduling them on day trips, I don't want to strand them in the middle of nowhere with nothing to eat.
Yeah.
So I try to be mindful of where has good food.
Yeah, I see that. No, all right.
Okay, so Northeast District is the Smith family of Paragould, Greene County. It's Clay, Terry, Melanie, and Corey.
Okay.
Super adorable family. I love them. In the East Central District, it's the Lindsay family of Forest City, your area. St. Francis County. They're row crop farmers up there. They still farm with their mom, and they've got a gin operation. And that's the first time I saw sweet potatoes in storage for the year.
Oh, nice.
That was cool. Okay, North Central District was the Hayes family of Pleasant Plains. That's Independence County. Ben and Mandy have their hands full. Not only do they do cattle, hay, poultry, they have 4 little adorable girls who are wild and all over the place. They were so much fun to hang out with.
That's awesome.
The Northwest District is the Hostetler family of Green Forest, Carroll County, and it is a partnership of 2 brothers with their wives and all their children. Everyone lives on the farm, involved on the farm. They're homeschooled, so even the kids get involved in going. And that was my first time being in a lair house.
Okay, have not done that.
Witnessing it.
Slow it down for folks who aren't familiar.
It's so
lair house.
Lair house is where your chickens go to lay their eggs.
Boom. So when you hear chicken houses, not everybody is raising broilers for us to eat on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, they could be baby chicks that they're raising. They could be the chickens that you're going to eat, or they could just be laying eggs.
Making those eggs.
Yes.
Yep.
So I thought that was really cool. They had a window you could look in to see the chickens.
Cool.
So that was my first time being there. And then they also do a little bit of flying. Matthew got to go up in the air with them too.
Oh.
I love it that you got very specific on when to eat the chicken.
Well, I'm just saying it's not only the Super Bowl for football, but it's the Super Bowl for chickens. I'm just saying. I mean, come on.
I always have my question about the wing and the leg shortage is a different story.
Yeah.
We'll cover that on a different episode.
Yeah.
The Southeast District is the Young family of Poplar Grove, Phillips County. It's Clay Young and his wife Shannon. He's been farming for 30 years, and he also is in business with his brothers. One has an irrigation, one has land survey, so they all kind of team up and help.
Oh,
and
nice.
have access to all the resources they need.
Yeah.
Southwest District is the Robertson family of Hope in Hempstead County, and they have been farming for 7 years. They got their land from their parents, so they're multi-generation.
Oh, wow.
And they do cattle and poultry. So
Okay.
that's pretty cool. West Central District is the Honeycutt family of Arkadelphia, another partnership, 2 brothers, all their family, multi-commodity thing they got going on. In addition, they are putting in a meat processing facility.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we actually didn't get to meet all the family on farm family visit. They were actually in training for that processing and all following all the rules. So that's going to be a great addition to their community.
Will they serve that community and farmers around that area? Is that the plan?
I think that's to probably do their own as well, but to bring in from other producers.
All part of that meat inspection bill.
Okay. The Western District is the Stowball family, who's super active in Farm Bureau. Again, another multi-generation. They do rice, soybeans, and corn. And I can attest you can get lost in all their fields. You can lose someone very quickly and get lost in an actual corn maze.
If you're familiar with, or if you're not familiar with these guys, Matthew went out and shot a video of broadcast rice planting or application 1. Anyway, they do some really cool and innovative
they do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of Matthew and his videos, we went back and, well, I say Matthew went back and visited all these families. So we have a three-ish minute video of every single one that we played today during the luncheon, and those are all available on YouTube. So if you want to go learn more about these families, if you want to learn more about your district and what's happening there, go check it out. They're beautiful. They tell a lot about these families, and it's really cool to watch.
Yeah, having seen those all sequentially, it doesn't take that much time, and it's worth your time to probably the time of a regular TV episode to go and see what these folks are doing.
They're so interesting that you just find yourself like sitting there and hitting play on the next one. You can get through them pretty quick.
And Matthew's going to have some cool shots of like a little baby goat running through
we did get to see baby goat.
Lawn or pasture or something like that.
Definitely. I go on a lot of those shoots, and I think I'm their favorite chew toy. Most times I find myself getting nibbled on by something.
That's always my daughter's favorite part. Exactly. She's just there for the animals.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Well, it's very exciting, and watching the videos, being involved in some of this, it just is just further testament that it's a very diverse group.
Yes.
And the competition is very stiff. I mean, any one of these families could win.
Yes.
And they're they have very, very solid operations.
Yes.
But only one can win.
Right. And only one can win. And I want to say, just because you don't win state doesn't mean you're not a great.
Oh my
farm
gosh. You've
you absolutely
made it through
You've
2
made it
stages
this
of the
far.
process. Yeah.
I will say, besides visiting the farms, that's a cool part of my job. The other part is chauffeuring around my judges.
Yeah.
And I get to listen to their conversation, and I just have to sit and be quiet.
Sure.
Yes.
Which y'all know is hard for me. But I get to sit and listen to their discussion and figure out like what they saw was positives, kind of talk it out. And I learn more every year about the farms because I didn't come from ag.
Right.
To sit and listen to their discussions, and I'm like, oh, that was a pretty cool visit. And they're like, well, and they point out things that I had no idea about. So getting to be a fly on the wall in the car is fun.
Yeah.
And it's painful because you're comparing apples to oranges, and they're all great families, and they have such a hard time.
Oh, I can
narrowing
imagine.
it down. I'm like, well, I'm thankful I don't have to be that person.
Yeah, people don't understand how much the staff nerds out about this and going out to shoot the videos and like, oh boy, that was impressive. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know if you weren't here, if you were here rather, then who won, and that's great. We celebrate it.
Yeah.
But if you were not here, can you share who won?
You ready? Brian, do you have a drum roll?
Missed opportunity.
You know,
Missed opportunity.
Fine. Okay.
I think I have.
Do not do that, badum-ching.
It's not a drum roll. It's that's all I
That's what
have.
I'm saying. Do not. The one thing I said, do not do.
He's like, oh, that button. Don't press that one. Okay. Drum roll.
The closest thing I've got to it right there.
Okay.
All right.
The 2022 Arkansas Farm Family of the Year is the Honeycutt family from Arkadelphia.
Yay!
Clark County.
Congrats. We do have an applause somewhere.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, I
hey,
didn't think
somewhere.
that's about
I think right now it's laughter. So.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, let's not do that. We've already messed this up.
I've been mixing with all the pads on here. I don't want to push some of these buttons right now.
So it's brothers Ted and Steve Honeycutt, and they've been farming for 35 years. They grow cotton, corn, wheat, soybeans, hay, and they raise cattle. They additionally have that meat processing plant going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
They've got it's the Ouachita Valley Meat Company.
Okay.
They also operate Benchmark Ag and a wedding venue, the Barn at Richwoods.
Hey now.
And it's beautiful. We got to tour that while we were there.
They're
as well.
in Clark County, you said?
Yes,
Okay.
Arkadelphia.
Okay. Wow, that is my goodness. All right. So that's really impressive.
Yeah.
What's next? So they're our state winner.
Yeah.
As like I said, as we all discussed
Mm-hmm.
today. What's next for the state winner now that they've won Arkansas Farm Family of the Year?
So next step in that process is our state family going to the Southeast Farmer of the Year program, which we joined in 2006. The event is held in Moultrie, Georgia, which is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was gonna say I've never heard of it.
It's closer to Florida than Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a neat thing. It's in conjunction with the Sunbelt Ag Expo, which is the largest expo of its kind, I believe.
Yeah,
held down
big
there.
deal.
It's a big deal. It's huge. They're going to go down there and compete against 9 other states that are in that in the Southeast region. So Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, not Texas, Virginia, Florida, South Carolina, all of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then the judges in that program will do the same thing we do here.
Okay.
They hop on a plane and they visit.
Come here, visit.
They do 2 states a day, and they get it all done
Goodness.
in 1 week.
Wow.
Yes. So if you thought I was wrangling chaos, Chip has really got it going on over there.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, have we ever had anybody?
We've had 2.
Really?
Yes, we've had 2 Southeast winners. We have Brian and Nan Kirksey of 2006, I believe. I've got it written down. 2007.
Okay.
Apologize.
Yep.
And then Patty and David Wilde in the Wilde Family Farms up in Northeast Arkansas, Mississippi County. They were 2015.
So that's like recent. Like
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about the odds.
Well, and something's in the water down in Clark County because that's where Brian and Nan are from.
oh,
So
okay.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
hoping
Oh,
it's
yeah,
gonna
that's
be,
right.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a good year for us when we take them down to Sunbelt this year.
Man, me too. Me
Well,
too.
and among the other many hats that Ashley wears, she goes with the farm family out to Moultrie, and this year was the Arkansas was the spotlight state.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so she put together that whole program, and we brought in several entities from around the state.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that in a brief time.
So the 10 states that participate in Southeast, the Southeast Farmer, they rotate each year on who's going to be the spotlight state. So like Brian said, we were this year. They've upped it from a temporary white tent to a metal shop, for lack of a better. It's a metal building, empty completely. It's 40 by 70 feet.
Wow, holy cow.
Completely empty.
Yeah.
They're like, here you go.
Here's your canvas.
Promote your state. So we partnered up with the Department of Ag, Department of Tourism, Farm Credit Associations of Arkansas, University, the Extension, everybody. We got together on, we want to promote more than just agriculture. Because the folks that are at this expo, they're familiar with that. Like, what else does Arkansas have to offer? So we promoted education, tourism, our economic development, our production ag, everything that
Holy
Arkansas
cow.
does. We gave away a diamond.
Really?
In a drawing at the
Oh,
luncheon.
that's fun.
That was really popular. So,
Okay. Well, what can you think of something that folks sort of centered around? Like, oh, I did not know Arkansas was known for that.
rice.
Yeah.
That was our big. If you'd asked me the week I came back, I could rattle you off every Arkansas state.
So
fact
it's funny
there
you say
was.
that. So my wife and I went on vacation in the Caribbean this summer, and there was a guy from Iowa chatting me up, and he was a distiller or a brewer for a brewery up there for years, and we talked about everything under the sun, and it's rice is what it came back to.
Yeah. That was our big fact. And then Some of the younger kids don't really care about that. So my next in line fact was that Arkansas invented cheese dip.
Ah,
That usually got people's
that's a
attention
good one.
too.
And we do have the World Cheese Dip competition.
Yes.
or
We
whatever.
do.
Yeah. So,
We do, for sure.
all right. Well, there it is again. Food has made its way onto this show. It's a thing, whether we want it to happen or not. All right, Ashley, if you've listened to our episodes, I know you're a loyal listener, with guest interviews, we can't let you get away without having some fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you mentioned, you visited lots of farm families and farms during during this year and every year as part of your role with Farm Family of the Year. What is the most interesting or maybe most entertaining thing that you've seen on a farm?
I've done a lot.
Yeah.
On farm visits. Last year I visited my first commercial hog
Okay.
farm.
Yeah.
That will take your breath away. That was something. The layer house was a fun visit.
Yeah,
just to,
for
like,
sure.
Peek in the window.
Yeah.
I think my favorite trip so far has been visiting one of the families this year when we were doing the video.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I've never done that. I've never seen that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And first they put me in the tractor to like look, and I'm like, I'm gonna take video, I'm gonna watch, and he starts walking me through the process, and I'm like, okay, well thanks for that detail.
Yeah.
And we get to the end of the road, and he goes, all right, your turn. I was like,
you drive?
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
Yeah, so I harvested corn this year. So we swapped back, and then on the next pass, he was like, okay, well, this is how you dump into the cart.
No.
And I was like, okay, like I'm picking up on what's happening.
Super
now.
tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, swap, your turn. And I was like, what? He's like, okay, now you just press that button over there. And I'm like, sir, there's like 17 buttons over there.
Yeah.
Which one am I supposed to press?
Like, Lord knows how much money worth of
Yes.
crop in the back of that
Yeah.
combine.
That's
But
right.
He was
No pressure.
super fun about it. He was super cool. He was like, they love people coming out and learning and doing stuff like that and teaching the value of it. And I had a good time. And my husband was jealous.
I bet he was. We've said it before on this program. Like, farmers want to take the time. They want to teach you. They want to show you what they do, why they do it, how they do it. They want us to be a part of that experience.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. Harvesting corn.
Yes. Check that off I'm going to put it on my resume.
It's got to be on like your end of the year wrap up or something like that. Well, I
harvested one row of corn.
Read 10 books. I did this. I did that. Also, I harvested corn. That's something. That's really something. All right. Well, as we wrap up the program, we went a little long today. Thanks for sticking with us, but we wanted to cover all that farm family stuff and get you some news too. Brian, do you have a This Day in History?
I do, which it's kind of odd for me to bring up This Day in History, considering I know this comes out on Thursday.
Yeah.
Then the audio comes out on Friday.
That's it.
Technically, we are recording on Wednesday.
Okay.
So, shh.
The secret's out.
Don't tell anybody.
So,
Secrets of show business.
Yes, that's right. I tell you all that because the This Day in History facts, they're all coming from December 7th.
Okay.
Not the 8th, not the 9th.
Well, and because I'm going to be wearing something completely different.
No,
when
exactly.
This comes
No.
out
Don't worry about
tomorrow.
that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So, most notable, this day in 1941,
Mm-hmm.
day that will live in infamy.
Okay.
What was that date?
My gosh.
1941, December 7th, 1941. Day that will live in infamy.
I don't know. I'm
Matthew's trying to give us hints.
It happened
It's
in the
charades.
Pacific.
I was gonna say D-Day, but
No, it was the Pearl Harbor attack.
Pearl Harbor attack. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
What was
Yeah.
that hint?
Matthew's acting out everything today. He's just
Yeah,
back there giving
yeah.
us hints on stuff.
Goodness.
For all the geeks, in 1979, it was the
Uh-huh.
launch of the Star Trek motion picture series.
Yeah.
This day was when they
Yeah, that
launched
is.
that.
Is for the
And-
nerds.
In 1995, this band broke up
Oh, yeah.
after
Come
one
on,
of
talk
the
to me.
founding members had died. So he didn't die on
1990
this date, but after he died,
They broke up.
they broke up.
95.
How many founding members died?
Just one.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
Oh man,
can we have a?
I don't
can
even
we have a
have it.
hint?
Yeah, is there something?
Another. Can we have multiple
I'm
choice?
assuming it's a rock band. If you said
Last
band.
week we ate pizza at a place that was named.
Oh, the.
Oh, Jerry Garcia.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was Jerry
Great.
I
Garcia.
was like,
So,
we got there.
the
Team
Grateful
effort.
Dead.
Only one of my favorite bands of all. So,
Fail.
95. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So, gave you all the hints I could.
that was a good one.
But I thought those were pretty interesting.
Yeah, those are
for
good.
Sure.
But that is all I have for you today.
All right. Well, that's a good one. I guess we'll wrap it on up since we've covered the news, we've covered farm family, we've covered convention. We squeezed a lot into this episode.
We have.
So,
Yeah.
as always, thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for
Clever.
you taking the time to watch and listen.
Were you wanting a drum hit that time? Because I mean,
That if there was a place,
I could.
rather than introducing
That was
the
it.
Farm Family the year winner. That was
You
the-
forbid me to use that this time, so that's why I did not give you another one. So,
All right. Well,
remember, you can catch the live stream, which we're not doing the live stream, but you can catch that every Thursday at 2 when we do that
yep.
on Facebook and YouTube. You can still catch this on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you turn on your notifications to get alerts when we do go live. Listen to the audio version later on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast.
That's right. And the Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by Arkansas Farm Bureau, hosted by me, Jason Brown.
Oh, and me.
Good Lord. And thank you to our guests today, Ashley Wallace, for joining us. Thank
That's
you so
right.
much.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next time.